everybody. So I'm going to make you a video of how I do my menu planning for the month, my food prep, grocery haul, everything that I do to plan and get ready for food for an entire month. So this will include how I actually plan, choose my meals, all that stuff. It will include, it'll include my grocery haul. I go to Costco and then I go to my local store, which is Winco, and I also go to Trader Joe's. And then it'll also include how I do all my prep for the week. So this is probably either going to be broken up into sections or be one really long video. And it's probably going to be choppy because I haven't figured out that much editing and I have a baby, so I don't have that much time. But I just want to share this info with you because I've tried to find multiple videos on YouTube for monthly planning and or monthly menu planning, and I haven't seen a ton. And I've been doing this now for a few months and it's working out really well. So I just want to share it with you. But a warning, this is probably going to be long and it's probably going to be choppy, but bear with me. Alright, so to start out, what I need when I do my planning is my planner, and then I have my recipe binder. I have two. This is like my main recipe binder that has all different categories of food, and then over here are recipes that I've like found and printed off or scanned but haven't tried yet, so I have those still in the front because nothing goes into my binder until I've already tried it and at least liked it, but I'll go over that in a second. So I have that binder, and then I also have a second binder that has more specialty stuff like for freezer meals, or I was doing the 21-day fix, so it has recipes for that. So I'll go into that. So I use my planner, my binders. I also have a few cookbooks which I reference sometimes, not as often just because I know a lot more of this stuff is things I like. And then I also will go to, I don't know if you can see that, Pinterest, and find things on Pinterest. Okay, let me see if I can do this in an order that makes sense. So, and I haven't done it quite yet because it's still early in the month, and I plan for 1 month. Sorry, the lighting's not great because it's nighttime, but I plan for 1 month, but I don't just sit down at one session and just do 30 meals. I usually break it up throughout the month, or if I'm searching online and I find something that looks good, I'll write down a couple recipes, or throughout the month I have a spot on my fridge that shows what I'm out of, so I'll write things that I'm out of there. So I don't plan just at once, but I kind of, as the month goes along and something sounds good or I find a recipe, I put it aside and write things in then. But I'm about a week and a half out from the beginning of the month, so I'll start sitting down and thinking of some meals to get me started. And then as the month gets closer to an end and I'm getting closer to grocery shopping, I'll go through my entire fridge and freezer. I have a freezer obviously inside. I also have a deep freezer outside in my garage, and then when we moved in there was an extra refrigerator and freezer, so I have a lot of space, which is nice. So I'll go through all those and I will write down everything that I still have that's not accounted for the final few meals of the month. So anything that's left. So like last month I had a few things of ground beef left. And so when I planned January, then I knew I had, a couple things of ground beef I needed to use. I also had peanut sauce left, so I had to find a recipe for January that had peanut sauce. So I'll do that for February as well. I don't know if you'll see me like filming that part. But that's one of the first things that I do would be to go through my entire house, food-wise, like pantry, fridge, freezers, and write down anything that's left that needs to get used. Then from there, I can either reference my binders that have recipes that I like and search for those ingredients, or I'll go to Pinterest and just search something to use those items. So that's one of the first ways that I will find recipes. I've also really been liking the library lately, and I got a little wand scanner, and so I've been going to the library and just checking out cookbooks and then scanning recipes, because you know, you get a cookbook, if you buy it, I generally only use a couple recipes out of it, and then I've just wasted money on the whole book. So I've started going to the library and looking for books and finding recipes that look good, and then I'll scan them and print them out. So I have a lot of stuff over here like these that have been scanned and are just waiting for me to test before I put them in my binder. So for my binder, I made this a long time ago where it just has categories for each item of food. And now I made this before I had tested all these recipes, so there are recipes in here that I haven't tried yet. But what I'm doing from now on is trying to go through and try the recipes, and if we don't like them, I toss them, and if I like them, they stay. And no other recipes are allowed in here unless I've tried them and like them. So that's why I have this section over here for things I want to try. So that'll be one of the first places I go to look for planning February's meals. But most of the stuff in here has been tried, but not all of it. So let's see. Here's like my bread section. So if I've tried it and it's like one of our favorites and I make it all the time and it's like just I love it, then I got these little stickers and I put a little sticker on it, and that way as I'm flipping through I know like, oh yes, this is like, you know, something really great, we loved this one. And so anything that has a sticker would be tagged as like one of our favorites. So even though stuff in here might be stuff we've liked, we obviously have our favorites, and that way I know which things we really like. So that's the binder, and that's why I have extra stickers over here to tag our absolute favorites. This will be the first section I go through to find recipes for next month. And then this is my second binder, and this one, basically I just didn't have enough room, but this one has things like freezer meals, desserts, like any of my holiday specific recipes. And then I got into the 21-day fix, and I've started canning, and actually I need to make one for dehydrating too, because I'm now canning and dehydrating, and so I have resources for that. So anything like specialty kind of stuff like that would be in here, and like freezers, like freezer meals that things that work really well to make and freeze and then have later. I mean, you can do that with a lot of recipes, but these are like specific ones that I've tried as freezer meals that worked. So that's what that section is. So I'll reference those binders, and then I do my monthly menu plan in my planner. So let me get to February. Okay, so I got this add-on. I use a plum paper planner, and I got this monthly cleaning add-on. So the front page, it has stuff for, you know, putting your special cleaning tasks for the month, but the back was blank, and I decided that I was going to use that for my food prep page. And so it's broken up into sections, and I use it as a checklist during my food prep weekend. I'll show you how I do that. So this is just the notes page, and then you go into the month view, and this is where I do my menu planning. So in here I'll write down the day that I plan on going to the grocery store, and I go grocery shopping when my husband is home and can watch the baby for at least a couple days, because I do it once a month, I have to get everything ready and prepped so the food doesn't go bad. And so since we have a baby, I have to have the time when he's watching the baby. So I will write down like which day I'm going to the grocery store And that way I know, like, that night is going to be some easy meal, something not hard. And I know the day that I prep, so I'll go to the grocery store and I'll get the stuff, and then I'll prep that day and the next day. So those 2 days I know are going to be really simple food for us. And then if there's anything else going on that month that's going to affect my plans, I'll also write that in. So this month there's Valentine's Day, so we'll probably be celebrating actually on Monday. So I'll know that we'll probably go out to eat this day, so I won't have to make anything. And the other thing I'm doing is we're having friends over for like a game afternoon. We're going to have apple cider and snacks and play games and stuff, and so I'll need extra food for that day. But other than that, we don't really have anything specific going on. So that's why I plan on my monthly calendar, and that way I can plan out all the meals, see it all at a glance, and then as I go into the weeks, I can just add in what I'm going to be eating each night. Now, my schedule with a baby, a 10-month-old, is challenging to make dinner. I don't have a lot of time. That's when he gets fussy and it's close to his bedtime, so I don't have a lot of time. So when my husband works, which is like the last half of the week, I need really fast meals because he works later than dinner time. When I fill in the meals over here, they're going to be simple things like I will fill in freezer meals here and there, and then I'll do things like that are very, very simple, or that I have stuff prepped ahead of time. And then the beginning of the week when he's off and he'll be home to help at dinner time and with all that, then those are the days and I'll try to make new meals or things that take longer to prep, because I'll have more time and help to be able to do that. So I'll base my meals off of that. So I'll show you as I go in and fill things out, but that's in general how I use this. So I'll go through here, fill out what I'm going to be getting, and I do the whole month. Then I go back to this. And over here, like on my notes page, I'll write random notes up here, but then I'll write breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, and snack ideas. So because when I plan in the monthly view, I just do dinners. I don't write anything other than just dinners in here. And I don't generally plan a lot for like breakfast, lunches, and snacks, but I just want to know what I have on hand or what I might need to get at the grocery store. So I might have like breakfast burritos and cereal and oatmeal and snacks. Like I said, I've been starting to do dehydrating stuff, so it might be dehydrated fruit or whatever. And then lunch, 90% of the time, lunch is just leftovers for us. So, but I'll write in a couple ideas here and make sure I have stuff in case I need lunch ideas. But so this is just here basically so I can reference back. So if it's the morning, I'm like, I don't know what we have to eat. What can I use to eat? What that's not going to be used in meals. I know by looking at this page. And then over here, like I said, is my food prep. So I will go to the grocery store, say on like a Saturday. I hate grocery shopping on Saturday, but the way my husband's schedule works, in order for me to be able to prep the food right away afterwards before it goes bad, it has to be on a Saturday. So I will go on Saturday and I will go to Costco. I will go to my local grocery store and I will go to Trader Joe's. And I will get everything that I need pretty much for the month if I can do it. Occasionally I'll need to go back once for a couple things like lettuce or, produce that's going bad. But for the most part, I will try to get it all. And then that afternoon, after I get back from the store, and that next day or so will be dedicated to food prep. My husband will watch the kid, and I will just do food prep. And this helps me keep track of how I want to do things. So, each month I've been doing about 7 to 10, I'd say, freezer meals. So, they're either crock pot freezer meals where I can just throw stuff in a bag and freeze it and dump that in the crock pot, or it'll be like a freezer casserole or something that I can just put in the oven. But I've been doing a lot of the crock pot ones right now because they're just very easy for me. But so I'll have like 7 to 10 of those. So I'll list those out right here. That way on my prep day, I know that I have to make taco soup and enchiladas and manicotti or whatever my freezer meals are. I know that those have to be prepped. And then I'll also do Caleb's food. That's my son. So I was making baby food for him, and he's doing finger foods, but I like to prep a lot of that stuff as well. So if I can chop up carrots small and pre-cook macaroni and portion into small long containers and freeze it, if I can do any of that stuff, that helps me later on, like during lunches and stuff, so I don't have to figure out what I'm going to do and get his specific stuff ready. So I'll put down things that I'm going to do for him, and I will put snacks. So I've already thought about this a little bit, and so like pumpkin balls are basically like date balls with pumpkin and stuff, so they're like one of our little snacks that I'll prep ahead and have ready. Fruit balls, same thing, just with fruit. So any like snack, I'll probably make granola bars and prep that. Anything for snacks would go up there. Canning and dehydrating, like I said, I'm learning how to do all this stuff, so I'm making all my own things. So I want to try making yogurt in the dehydrator, so I'm going to need the stuff for that, and I'll have to do that. Anything else I want to do, there probably won't be a lot this month, but like around Christmas time I had multiple things, so I was doing gifts for that. So I'd fill that stuff in here. And then breakfast or lunch prep. I already know that I want to do some freezer burritos for lunch, so that when I need to pack my husband's lunch and we don't have much, I can just toss a burrito in there. So I'm going to be making a large batch of freezer burritos. And then the last thing would be the box for prep work. And this is like for random little things that may be part of these other categories, or maybe is just on its own. So I make a lot of stuff homemade, like my own peanut butter. So in prep work, I'm gonna put make peanut butter. I would also put I also need to check my dry mixes. So I pre-make and freeze mixes for bread, for like sandwich bread, for buns, rolls, and like pizza dough. I also have dry mixes that I make for like cornbread, stuff like that. So I will make a note in here that I need to check my stock and see how I'm doing, and then I can pre-make more bags of like bread mix if I need, because then if it's the week and we're out of sandwich bread, all I have to do is take that dry mix bag that I've already made, dump it in my mixer with the wet ingredients, which is just water and butter, turn it on for 5 minutes, and I'm done. It's so much easier. So those kind of things would be in prep work. I also cook all my meats at once when I get home from the store. I have a problem with like raw chicken and meat and stuff, and I hate having to like clean my kitchen and feeling like I need to majorly sanitize every time I use meat. So I just cook it all one day. So part of my prep work will be to do my chicken or whatever. So I'd write in shred chicken or bake chicken for this, and this. So I will cook all the chicken ahead of time. Usually I use shredded chicken just because it's easier for me, and then I can take the chicken and put it into the freezer meals that I have up here and split it up or whatever. Or if I'm making fajitas, I'll cut the chicken up and put it in a bag with seasonings and freeze it, and then all I have to do is add vegetables, and that makes it easy portion for the next week. So any like prep work stuff specifically, I will put in this box, and I'll show you all this as I do it, or when it's done I'll have listed out what I'm gonna do. So I've now come up with my plan of meals. I've written them all down here. I take that over here, and I think about everything that I need to do for the month to get ready. Then I have to make a shopping list, and so in the back of this planner I made a before store checklist, and because I'm only going to the store once a month, I have to make sure that I have everything. So I have this checklist add-on here on my planner, and I went through my house and I wrote down like literally like just everything pretty much that I like to have on hand or that we would use frequently, so I want to check to make sure if I need it or not. And so then each time I'm going to the store, I will write the date. So this was for the month of January. This is at the end of January I'll be going, but it's going to be obviously for February's food. So I'll go through my house and I will see if I have it on hand or if I'm going to need it. So brown sugar, I need a little bit more, so I put a little 0 or a little circle. Canola oil, I'm good, I put a check mark. Chocolate chips, I'm going to need some of those, we're running low after Christmas. Cocoa powder, don't need it. So I will go through literally every part of my pantry, spices, everything, and make sure that I don't need anything. So any type of noodles, apples, most of my condiments, and then I also do household stuff like dog bones, dish soap, towels, paper towels, because I do all that, I get all that stuff while I'm there. This is for my business. I have my own Etsy business, and so I want to make sure I have enough stuff, should I need it, so I also have that there. Toiletries also would be bought on this trip. So I'd go through and I'd make sure I have everything, and then once I have that and I know which items I need based on going through, I will walk through my kitchen with this list and check it off. Then once I have that, I will go back to my recipes for the month and I'll write down everything that I need for those recipes that I don't have. And so I'd go through these recipes. And I also will print out any recipes that I need, and so it'll all be together and I'll know what I need. And then from there I go to my computer. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, my battery is just about to die, so we'll see if I can do this here. Okay, then I'll go to my computer and I will bring up the spreadsheet that I made, which has been really handy for staying on budget. So I made a spreadsheet for my grocery stuff, for pretty much most of the things that I would get at the grocery store. I'm gonna have to, yeah. So I had the spreadsheet made so that we can save money and I can make it better, closer to my cash budget. So what I have here is a list of the stores that I go to. So I have Costco and everything that I typically would get at Costco. And then I have Trader Joe's, stuff that I would normally get there. And then I have Winco. And then I also have one other store that I'm occasionally will go to called Cash and Carry. And that's just like a restaurant supply type store. So sometimes I go there. So I have that on here too. So I have the stores that I will go to, and then I also have listed as much by category as I could kind of get. So most things are in the same area, and I have it listed pretty closely to how I would walk through the store. So I have the item and then price for the item. These are like what I, in the last season, what the price has been. And then some of them I've broken them down by price per unit or whatever. But then I also have a to buy column. And so what I will do is I'll go through my recipes and I'll make a list of what I need to get and what items. And then I'll bring it up to here and it will keep a running total for me of my costs. So this up here will be my running total. Now this is just left over from what I had last month, so this isn't accurate and I'll have to delete it, but you can kind of see what I did last month. So the highlighted ones are like the best price for that store. So like for my area, strawberries and pineapple were generally the cheapest here. I don't know why this is missing a price now, but so if I'm like, oh, I need spinach, then I know, okay, well, Costco's the best price on spinach, so I'll get it at Costco. And I try to update these kind of when I can, but even if they're just, similar prices, it still gets me a better guess of how much my grocery bill will be versus just me like approximating. So I'll go through and I will type in here how many of I need of an item. So if I need like 1 box of spinach from Costco, I put it there, and it tallies up over here in this column the price, and it will then add the price up here for my total. So if I had two things of spinach, then obviously instead of $3.99 it'll be $7.98, and the price up here will change. So I go through my list and I put everything that I'm going to be buying. So this last time I got 2 things of organic chicken from Costco. And I got frozen strawberries from Costco. So I go through Costco, put everything I need, and then at the bottom it will show me the subtotal for everything I chose, and then I have it calculating the tax and then the total for that store. So I know how much that store is going to be, and then I go to the next store and I enter in, I do the same thing, whatever I'm going to get, do Winco, and as I'm adding things, this subtotal up here keeps going up, so I know. So if my budget's like $400 for the month, I know I'm going to be about $15 or $16 over already without even having to go to the store. Or I also know, because sometimes I'll do this a little bit before my budget, so I kind of know, so I can put a little more money for food. So it just kind of helps with that. And then I go to this shopping list column down here that's linked. And I am no Excel expert, but my dad is. So he actually pretty much built this for me. He helped me make this work. So anyways, I bring this little tally thing down and hit OK, and what it does is it pulls over everything from the other sheet into this sheet and orders it by store in the order that I had it, so then I can then just print this off and take it to the grocery store, and it's been amazing. So it has everything I need for Costco. Here was all the items that I had checked that I needed. So like spinach, I had 2, so should cost me about $7.98. So when I'm at the store, if spinach has gone up or down in price, I know that I'm gonna either, that's gonna affect my budget slightly based on these things. And then it will show me the total for the store. So here's Costco's total. Then it goes to the next store. You can see off to the side here I put splurge. So if I went to the store and some things were cheaper than I was expecting and I had a little extra money, then I could do one of the splurge things I put. But anyway, so then I also do like coupon amount and rebate amount. So I do the Ibotta app. So if there's a rebate on apples, then I'll put in 20 cents here, and that way I know when I get home that I need to do that one. Or if I have a coupon, then when I'm at the store, I know the coupon amount, and it will actually take it off of this list, so the price, so that I know the adjustment. But also just reminds me at checkout that I have a coupon for it. So those are also there. And then it'll show the total for each store. So like I know at Winco, I hopefully didn't spend more than $134. And if that was the case, then I knew I was in budget. So it's really nice because it shows me how much something should cost. So as I'm buying the stuff, I know about where I am in my budget, and I also know ahead of time based on my list. And this just prints it all out, and it's really nice. So that's how I actually do my grocery list now, and I really, really, really am liking it. So, yeah, so then I would have planned my food, and then figured out exactly what I need to do, get my grocery list, and that would lead me into grocery shopping. And that I will show you when I get my haul. I'll show you what I do with that. As soon as I get back from the grocery store, I put anything away, like any of the bulk stuff. So if I have pasta that's like bulk pasta or something that I won't be putting into a freezer meal that just needs to go in my pantry, I'll stick that in like, an airtight container. If I have condiments, so in my fridge I use like all the same condiment bottles, so I'll move the condiments over to that. I will wash all my fruits and vegetables. I will put bulk spices into their containers. Also, so I don't have to shop multiple times a month if I buy like milk, if I buy 2 gallons of milk, because it's just, I don't have kids, so we don't go through a ton, but if I buy 2 gallons of milk, I'll pour some out into glass jars and freeze it. So any of that like minor prep work stuff, I will do as soon as I get home, and I'll put that all away. That way, fruits and vegetables are clean, everything's ready, and the next day, that's when I will start to chop fruits and vegetables, make my my meals that I had set aside, my freezer meals. I'll do snacks, so I'll start stuff in the dehydrator. So the next day is then when I do all this stuff, and that way everything's already been put away, everything's clean, and I can work on doing this prep work. And so the rest of this video, or the next video, however I decide to do this, I will show you what my actual meal plan is, my list, I'll show you how everything's set up, and then I'll actually walk you through me prepping everything for the month. So hopefully this gives you a good little overview, and then I'll show you as I actually do the month. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below. Alright, we'll see you soon. Bye.